So this in our series of review lessons is all about addition procedures, primarily with whole numbers, but also a little bit with decimals. Now, since this is a review lesson, we're not going to go into the background behind the addition procedures. We're not going to talk in great depth about the place values and how everything works. We're going to go through a quick review of how to set it up, 2 example problems, and then 4 practice problems at the end. And so as it is a quick review, I just have one thing I want to talk about, and that is the most important thing when it comes to adding, and that is any time that you add, you must align your place values. That means the ones must be aligned with the ones, the tens with the tens, the hundreds with the hundreds, the thousands with the thousands, etc. No matter how large the number is in terms of digits, the same place values are always aligned with each other. Now, if we extended this to decimals and not just to whole numbers, then we have some things in the decimal column too, which we may or may not have with some of our numbers. We may have numbers with hundredths and tenths or no decimals whatsoever, but we still must align the place value columns, and we do that by focusing on the decimal point. But we're not here to talk about decimals. There is a whole other lesson on adding and subtracting with decimals. We just want to review the procedures. So let's go ahead and look at 2 example problems here. First is 4,250 plus 397. Now when we set it up, and we want to set it up vertically, we write our first number. I prefer to write the larger number on the top. For me, visually, it is just easier to go through. Then 7 is in the ones column, so we line it up so that each column, the ones, the tens, the hundreds, etc., is lined up. Here we go with our standard addition. 0 plus 7 in the ones column is 7. 5 plus 9 is 14, but of course we can't write 14 in a single place value column. We write our 14 by having the 4, and then that 14 tens, 10 of those tens become 100, so we add it to the hundreds column. Now 2 plus 3 is 5, plus the one that's remaining is 6, and then 4 plus 0 is 4, because after all, there is a 0 in the thousands place in 397. So 4,250 plus 397 is 4,647. One more example, just to drive home the point with the decimals if necessary, is that we have 1,826.4, which I'm going to write in black, and 688. We might be tempted to write 688 like this, but notice then that our ones place, this 8, is lined up with a tenths place in 1,826 and 4 tenths. So we don't want to line it up like that. We're not adding digits in the one place to digits in the tens place. We're not adding digits in the ones place to digits in the tenths place. Ones get added to ones, tens to tens, etc. Because after all, 110 plus 2 ones is not 3, it is 12. So here we go. Let's write it correctly. 688. We can add a decimal point and a 0 if we want. And now we go through our standard addition algorithm, which is an algorithm is just a way that we know will get us to an answer when we're looking at it. 4 plus 0 is 0. Decimal point is where it is. 6 plus 8 is 14. That means we're going to write down that 4, carry the 10, which is the 1 in the 14, over to the tens column. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus the 1 is 11. We'll have to carry again because 10 of those tens now become 100. So 8 plus 6 is 14 again, plus the 1 is 15. Carry that 1 one more time. 1 plus 1 is 2. Now remember, don't carry a 1 unless your addition in the place value column actually ends up with something that's greater than 10. So here the sum is 2,514. Go ahead, pause the video, and work on these 2 problems. Once you're done, we'll go through the answers and we'll go on to the next 2 problems. So pause the video, work on these, and unpause when you're ready to move on. So for the one in the left-hand column, 324 plus 846, line up the columns so the ones are in the same place. 4 plus 6 is 10, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 4 is 7. No need to carry the 1, so we don't add anything up there. 3 plus 8 is 11. Since there's no extra place value after the hundreds, we can just write down that 11 because that is the largest place value that we have. Now, 926 plus 1,073. Again, I like to write the larger number or the number with the largest number of digits on the top, particularly if they're whole numbers, but you can write it any way you like. 3 plus 6 is 9. 7 plus 2 is 9. 0 plus 9 is 9. And 1 plus 0 is 0. So 1,999. 2 more problems. Pause the video, see what you can do, and we will move on once you're done on those problems. For the first one, 8,354, we're going to add to 649. Line them up so the ones are in the same place. 4 plus 9 is 13. Add a 1. 1 plus 5 is 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4 plus 6 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. The sum is 9,003. And finally, 9,999 plus 1,001. 9 plus 1 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 9 plus 0 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 9 plus 0 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 9 plus 1 this time is 11. And our answer is 11,000. So again, when we add, the most important thing that we can do is line up our place values, or as we said, make sure your place values are aligned. And then we just follow our standard addition algorithm, adding the ones together, the tens, the hundreds, etc. Or starting all the way at the smallest decimal place value if we have decimals.